Hello, 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 hello. It is a blessing to have you with us today for Up Close with Dr. Berry. We are blessed to have Dr. Shannon Parris, who is joining us on today. Dr. Parris, we're so excited to have you joining us for Up Close. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm really happy to be here, Dr. Berry.
You have been blessed by God in amazing, incredible ways. I'm sure there are moments when you kind of just lay in your bed and just think about all that God has done. So most people see your today, but what was life like growing up?
Our messages, my brother and I, our messages from my parents were that you're special,
Sure.
You're smart, you can do this, you're capable, you're a great person, and those things have carried me through.
So, Dr. Parris, you grew up in the northeast part of the country in New York City, but obviously your family's roots are in Barbados. What are some of the Caribbean values that you still hold on to today?
Wow, that's a good question, because for me, that I walked both worlds, American and Caribbean, they almost are melded.
Sure.
However, we knew in my house, and when I say me, it was my brother and I, we were together always. So the most important messages that we received was education, education, education. If you didn't have education, you could not get the things that you think you want. So it was very important to my parents, to my family, that we were educated, that we were exposed, that we traveled, and that we learned. God first in everything we did. God first.
Well, obviously you went the extra mile. You talk about education to go on to dentistry school. When did you know that you wanted to be a dentist?
I chose, after going to college, after being in school for all those years, I was sick of school and I was done.
Right.
Despite all of the messages that I had been given as a child, how great I was going to be. And there's nothing wrong with being a customer service rep, but that's where I wanted to be at the moment. However, when I heard that my friend who had this rocky road in college was about to go to dental school, it's like, hold up, wait a minute. I have a brain too. And I got it together. I did all I needed to do, and dentistry was the way that I went. In dental school, I went because I knew I could do it.
Sure.
I did not realize that in dental school how many things, so that core curriculum was going to play into all that I needed to learn and to do. In dental school, you get to go to the clinics where you actually get to treat patients. And when I found out, like, wait a minute, I can do this on kids every day. Sure. Oh, this is me. And I knew that even though I didn't have it written on paper, God did. Sure. And I was led, and I just followed, and here I am.
Well, I'll tell you, when you consider your profession as a dentist, what is probably the biggest misnomer, or what do you wish the general public knew about being a dentist that they have no idea about?
Number one, we do not like to hurt people.
Okay.
It does not give us any joy.
Sure.
There is a lot of schooling that goes behind what we do.
Right.
Aside from college, we have to go to at least 4 years of dental school. And then if we choose to specialize, that's another 2-3 years. Wow. So it's a time commitment that we have decided to give. And it's also a financial commitment. It is very expensive to go to professional school, whatever the profession, be it law school or medical school. There's a lot. And to me, for someone that has chosen to specialize, that just shows the dedication and the interest that person has in what they do. They want to give their best. It's not easy doing what we do, especially dealing with children who may have been given false ideas about what's to happen. Sure. And so to turn that fearful child into my best patient, someone that comes and wants to give me a high five or a hug, my day is made.
How important is it for you to have a work-life balance?
It is very important. I am a social being. I like to be out and about. So my sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, is very important to me. Being involved in my church is very important. Having outside activities, having outside interests. I like to knit. I like to crochet. I do not have time to do them all, but I find my way to get it in. And you just never know how at a sorority meeting or at my knitting guild meetings, something might come up where someone might need help. Sure. People will say to me, are you a dentist? Can you imagine? You're a dentist, knit too? Yes, I do. Yeah, I do. And people might have questions that they might not be comfortable with asking their dentist. Or I always find an opportunity to share. And I don't mind doing so.
So obviously your faith, your relationship with God has kept you intact all of these years. For that professional that's watching and the Lord is blessing and really allowing them to experience some incredible heights in their career, how have you been able to keep God at the center of what you do?
God has always been at the center. He has always led me. I don't know how to be any other way.
Yes.
I just don't believe that there is any benefit in showboating.
Sure.
I really don't. Now, if you ask me a question about a technique or what do I think about something, I will give you my professional opinion.
Sure.
I don't profess to know everything, but I know enough.
Wow.
I know more than enough, actually. And I don't see the benefit in leading with material things.
Sure.
I am happy to share my journey, things that I would probably do a little differently, like that customer service gig. I could have probably left that out. But I like this. I like being humble.
Sure.
I like being quiet and let God get all the glory.
What would you say to the young lady who's has big dreams, has an incredible vision for her life, but maybe she's considering going to a field that's male dominated? What would you say to the young lady that's watching today?
What I would say to her is remember who you are. Yes. Remember whose you are. Remember what you're capable of. And if you don't remember, come ask me and I'll remind you.
Well, that's exciting. But I think that's definitely great advice, not only for the young ladies that are watching, but also for the young men. And it is definitely my hope that God will smile on you for many, many, many days. And so, Dr. Parris, whatever you do, don't change. Keep smiling and helping others to smile and see the beauty that God has placed inside of them. And so we pray today that Dr. Parris's experiences, her wisdom, and just the beautiful words that she's articulated today will have great benefit for your life. We're so glad that you tuned in on today, and we pray that this time together has been equally beneficial for you. Thank you for sharing with Up Close with Dr. Barry.